Hey YouTube viewers, welcome back to another Miner Saber tutorial video. We have achieved the Trillion setup, and we've been using it with Diamond Mines, so now we're preparing to build it with Painite Mines. So again, I've got two ends of my setup. I've got my ore upgraders, and then the end of my train, basically as I say at my caboose, for the portable ores, professionals, zappers, and then number multipliers. So the end of the train, not going to touch this at all. I'm only going to go back and change the front of my train because it's getting too long and I'm at my ore limit. I want to reduce my ore limit for my Painite, and we'll go forward. If you haven't seen any of the other videos, you may ask, okay, why is he using Diamond Mines and using the setup? I'll run through it as I'm breaking each one of them down. I use green and orange teleporters because I had them. So let's go ahead and break this down. I use 7 digital ore cleaners, and the reason why I use 7 digital ore cleaners that you can see as the ore is leaving here, the ore is about 147 million when it hits this last digital ore cleaner. That is about the maximum you can have leaving before it enters your portable ore advancers, and you can see. Now let me pull up my store. A very large upgrader that uses the system that upgrades the value of the ore by 60% up to 100 million. And now you can see it in the ore before it, or the cleaner before it, they're about 92 million before it hits this final one for 147 million. My setup is optimizing this to give you the best math, and I wish I could pull a calculator and show you my spreadsheet, but it's really optimizing it so that the other upgraders get me to the highest possible value when I leave this before leaving at the end. So that's why I use 7 of these digital ore cleaners. I'm going to go ahead and start breaking everything down. I'm going to show you why I use 8 of the way up high upgraders. 7 will do the job, but it doesn't seem like all ore is hitting 5.4 million. Sometimes it's 5.4 million hitting number 7, sometimes it's 5.4 million hitting number 8. That's why I have 8. If you look at the way up high upgraders, it doesn't upgrade ore worth more than 4 million. So if it's 3 million when it hits number 7, it's over 5 million when it hits number 8. And if I was to put 9 down, a 9th wouldn't upgrade any of the ore. So 8 was the max for me. So that's why I use 8 of these. Now there's a specific reason to why I chose more of these than the precision ores. It's because the precision ores are much bigger and take up more room. So you can see, man, they're flying out of here. See, that one was 230k, 140k, 110k. Most of them are about 230 when they leave the last precision ore refiner. If you look at the precision ore refiner, it upgrades them by 40% up to 500,000. So I could have more of these. But the size and the length, to me it wasn't worth it. I wanted to compress my base space a little bit, and that's why I use more of the way up high. That's why I use 8 of these and 7 of the precision ore refiners. So go ahead and remove all of these. Leads me into my plasmas. I use 10 of the plasmas, and it's because it multiplies it by 4. A lot of people use a scanner in large ores. I use the plasmas because when you have $4,000 times 4, that's 16, and that's more than a scanner and the large ore upgrader can give you. 16,000 is more than, I think it was like 8,500 or 8 or 7,000. It's pretty much the max at the ore value of the large ore upgraders. You have to have 10 of those, otherwise you won't get all your ore upgraded. You could have more of them if you don't feel like 10's doing the job, but you have to have at least 10. Then I have the 3 ore magnifiers because this brings the ore to the highest value coming out of the gate. 1 ore purifier, which adds $9, which gets me again close to that $1,000 mark coming out. Which comes over to my mines. Now I'm going to go ahead and remove the mines and my ore tracker. If you don't know what the ore tracker is, that's a new item as of May 2016 update. It's only available on the weekends if it's available at all. It comes from the Masked Man. It's just an NPC that is new to the game. He has 4 items that rotate all the time. He may have the ore tracker, he may not. Those items don't last through rebirth. You'll see on him that it'll say rebirth proof or not. So now I'm going to go ahead and build my Trillion setup. It's going to be a little shorter, but using Painite. And the reason why I'm using Painite is I honestly do believe this. Feel free to test this theory, but I believe that Painite gets through the it gets through faster than it does gets through Schrodinger's faster and better than it does than anything else. That's purely why I use the Painite. Some people use it a little bit differently. It's my preferred setup. I just feel like it gets through the Schrodinger's faster. And if you're wondering what Schrodinger's are, I'll explain those in a bit. I'm just preparing for my setup here, making sure I have enough space. Go ahead and put that right there. So, the reason why I'm setting it up like this is, again, I'm going to use one cursed ore purifier, one digital ore cleaner, and then put it through 25 Freon processors. The reason why I'm going to do that is it's going to take me to the highest possible value that the Freon can actually produce. And that's what I'm all about. I'm all about maximizing the amount of space cost for the least amount of work put into it. So I should probably change this up a little bit. I'm going to remove that. I'm going to put down that ore tracker again. That way you can see, oops, not that item. That way you can actually see. It needs to fix some of this stuff. When you put your cursor on the item, it goes right to the top. See? Every time you put your cursor at the top of it, just straight to the top. If you know how to use it properly, I guess it can save you time. So let's go ahead and make sure that these are down correctly, even though it looks like it actually will block. So this is a little bit tougher to get these situated correctly. Alright, so let me set these up. So that's going through nicely. Go ahead and set my next one up. Perfect. Right. Go ahead and move that one. Put in my basic. Connect the rest of them. So you may ask, okay, why is he using 5? I think that's just the optimal number for not running into more. I'm just going to start with 4 right now. 5 is what I use, so you may want to set it up to where you're using 4 and 5. But the reason why, some people use teleporters, that's fine, you can use teleporters. I'm just setting it up just like this so you can see it go through the ore tracker. Feel free again to change it, and definitely do if you want to. Alright, so now I'm in my turn. You can see when the ore leaves, this ore is worth 66k when it leaves, and that's a huge difference to when I had that whole other line. Leaving that was only like 500 or 150 million, so you're almost close to the top. So now it's time to set up the Freons. Now you have to set it up in a way so that the ore actually touches the metal upgrader. If it doesn't touch it, it doesn't get upgraded. Place all these down. As you can see, I keep the music off. Music that I don't particularly care for. Alright, well I thought I'd have enough room for a complete long line. I can move it just a little bit. I can have enough. Anyways, the reason why I use the Freons, and I'm using this many of them. If you look at your Freons, 45% up to 500 million. So, this last one is hitting that 720 million. I'm going to go ahead and remove it. You can see 548 million, 700. So I want to make sure that all of them are at that 720 million mark. So that's why I put enough in there. Because it doesn't seem like all of them hit quite enough of them. And that's why I use 25. Just as a precaution. So, I'm just going to make a turn here. Some of them are at 720 million, some aren't. That's fine. You were going to have to make a turn anyways. I was just trying to do it without having to really worry about doing everything differently. So, and some of them don't even get upgraded. So you can see the 96k one. Some don't get upgraded. There's 236, but this just puts it down. You could put down more if you want to. This gives me the best chance to have the ore worth as much as possible. So, now I'm ready to send it over to my green receiver over there. Place down my green teleporter. And you can see how much shorter the start of my base is versus the end of my base. And with 4 of those going, there's a sizable amount of ore going through the base, and these should all get upgraded pretty relatively. And this is a Trillion setup with Painite Mines. Next setup would be adding in our Schrodingers. You'll see anyone using between 10 and 15. I like to build it so you use 12 of these. The Schrodingers multiply the ore coming out of here by an unknown value. It may multiply it by 1. It may multiply it by 10,000. Having more down the line, if all of them multiplied it by 10, you know, you'd have a pretty high value ore there. Some of them actually may divide it. They do divide it, so the ore coming out of it's worth, you know, $1. You can never be less than $1, but $1 is the minimum. So it's a chance. The Schrodingers are, you're playing luck. I mean, that's all you're doing is playing luck. And in the Schrodinger setup, that's the next part of this. Personally, I would tell you to buy 12 of them. And you'd set it up so that you buy 12, and you hope that 12 will get you into the quintillions. And it takes a little bit of while. I mean, you know, you kind of have to go AFK for a little bit and let your system build, and you have to let it build getting up to that. But at this point of the game, you're really at your maximum level going into it. So you can see 2 billion, 500 billion. Just matters if the ore hits all of those or not. So while we're waiting, I have an extra Painite Mine. I was going to show you guys a little trick to make a little bit money a little bit quicker at this stage. You buy 1 sacrificial cell, 1 ore replicator. So I'm going to go ahead and place my sacrificial cell down. I'm going to place my ore replicator on one side. And you want to make sure it's close enough so that the green is over the fire and the white portion of it, the spout, is in this cell. This cell is only two-sided, some cells are three-sided. Then I'm going to put my painite in a way just to make sure the spout is in the center. And so, as this drops, right, each of the ore that goes through is worth 80 billion. And the ore replicator adds another ore to it. So, with each of the ore being 80 billion, that's great. A little bit faster. Not quite as fast as big number system like this. 400 billion, 500 billion, 100 billion. But it just gives you a way to consistently add it. So, pays for itself in about 2 minutes. Buying the sacrificial cell, the replicator, and then the Painite mine. The other great trick that I start doing is with this system going here. Now I'm at my ore limit, so I don't know how well it's going to work. You're going to add a ramp. I may have to move, I'm probably going to have to move all this. So I'm going to go ahead and buy another one of the ore replicators. Put down a military conveyor here. Put your ore replicator so that it's on the side where the spout is going over it. And you can see, because I'm at my ore limit, not everything is being produced. So sometimes you see the spout will actually produce a double. Sometimes it doesn't. It just matters on your ore limit as they go through. Just a great quick way to make sure your ore is getting doubled in value. Just double, well not double, but yeah, double the value. Double the ore really quickly. So you can add your sacrificial cell and your ore replicator and your Painite mine as you're just kind of sitting here waiting for the quadrillion mark. Unfortunately, there's just not a way to speed up the trillions to quadrillion mark, so kind of go around farming boxes. You see a gold box, go pick it up. At night, get your shadow boxes, and from there, you know, you can go around, find the jetpack, the grapple hook, the invisibility cloak, the moonwalker potion, all that stuff. You know, there's a bunch of boxes here. Everyone's so focused on building, they forget their boxes. Sometimes you get a mystery box in it. Sometimes you don't get anything in the crates. So, that'll be it for this video of the Trillions. Please go ahead and like, subscribe, comment if you have questions. If you think that I can change my setup any better, go ahead and submit it, you know. If you start getting UC items that are going to be beneficial, you know, Pirate Locker, Diamond Mines, going forward from there, use them. You know, this is just me using regular items right now, nothing special. My next videos, I'll start making things that have rebirth items and UC items. You can see, I mean, the UC items I do use are the professional upgraders. That's about it. So if you have codes and you get great items, use them. Don't hesitate. Don't wait. You know, get to your rebirth as quickly as possible, and you know, join us in building it. So you can see this item, this guy right here. He just has some scanners. I mean, he's at 150%, but if he had everything all in a row, and then these, you know, had the 5-point upgraders, and then these, his value of his ore would be so much more if he had one line as opposed to 3 lines. And so that's why I made my other videos with just 1 line. So go ahead and like, comment again, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thanks again for watching.